Dharma is not upheld by talking about it. Dharma is upheld by living in harmony with it. Gautam Buddha.
Greetings and welcome to the A Ray of Hope, Self-actualization YouTube channel. The contents of this episode are the continuation of values-based self-empowerment and code of conduct. The topic covered in this episode is Unfolding Dharma, that is, right conduct in daily life. It is a known fact that we are in search of happiness as humans. We will be happy when we get that new job or buy our dream house. No doubt achieving our aspirations does give us a level of satisfaction and often improves our quality of life. However, pleasure is for a good time, not a long time, and while life would be super boring without it, it is a little celebrating a birthday, or wedding anniversary, or graduation that it is a quick and fleeting high. For lasting happiness, it needs to be balanced by something more substantial, that is, meaning and purpose, even if that causes the occasional bit of pain, something we need to become whole and emotionally robust humans. Therefore, to maintain the balance, it is essential to understand the code that guides our behavior or conduct rightfully, which is, on the topic of unfolding Dharma in daily life.
It is apparent that we seldom look at or try to understand the ancient scriptures with lessons that can guide us to sail smoothly through our life journey. One such scripture that I can closely relate to this topic of unfolding Dharma in daily life is the Bhagavad Gita. Before proceeding with the presentation, I must emphasize that the Bhagavad Gita is not specific to any religion, belief, or sect, as many claims. On the contrary, the teaching is universal for all humanity, regardless of their faith and culture. For those unfamiliar or who have not heard about the Bhagavad Gita, it is the recording of the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. This dialogue took place just before the start of the Kurukshetra war, which guided to change Arjuna's approach to life, duties, and responsibilities. Though the Gita is many centuries old, the knowledge inherent in its every word makes it timeless and universal. Further, understanding the ageless guiding principles of the Bhagavad Gita can help us gain a deep insight into if, when, why, what, and how of everyday life. Therefore, the benefit of understanding and reflecting will be helpful to self-empower oneself. Therefore, the best way to describe the topic of unfolding Dharma in daily life is by revisiting the most remarkable dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna.
Greetings to all. I will present the topic of the relationship between karma and dharma. However, before I present the subject, I would like to start with a quote from Sri Satya Sai Baba on karma that relates to the topic. This burden of karma can be lightened by God's grace and your own realization of the oneness of your soul with the universal soul. Sri Satya Sai Baba. The general perception in the modern era is that the word Dharma has been used to equate with religion or philosophy. On the other hand, many believe that abiding by the laws of Dharma is enough, and there is no need to act according to one's free will to try and make their destiny. Further, many are under the impression that Dharma focuses on the present life and the afterlife. However, at the same time, karma only deals with actions performed in the present moment. Let us try to understand the two concepts of Dharma and karma that are intricately intertwined. Karma is the sum of a person's actions throughout their life, in the past and in the present. These actions concern that person's dharma and whether or not one fulfilled the duties dictated by one's dharma. Karma determines a person's future life based on the duties the person must fulfill or the lessons one must learn. Dharma is the underlying nature of reality, the universal law that guides all things through right action. Dharma describes this immutable force and the duty expected from oneself to apply, reflect, and contribute to the order of reality through one's right action. Therefore, dharma and karma are two of the four principal duties of a man. Karma deals with one's actions or deeds, and dharma is one's duty. Dharma and karma are thus conceived as the two controlling forces at work in the individual's life. It examines human life's ethical and moral struggles and its ultimate purpose when a course of action is chosen out of clear intentions for the betterment of all. Returning to the discussion on unfolding Dharma in daily life, let us now revisit the Bhagavad Gita. As mentioned previously, the Bhagavad Gita is a record of the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. The contents of the Gita describe all experiences, that is, physical, mental, and intellectual, on the path of emancipation. It reveals how one can discharge one's duties and responsibilities righteously. The Kurukshetra war is about to begin. Sri Krishna, the charioteer, and Arjuna, commander-in-chief, were on the Pandavas' side. On the opposing side of Kauravas was his uncle Bhishma, who was so fond of Arjuna, his teacher, Dronacharya, who thought the skill of military arts was responsible for teaching Arjuna the art of warfare. To make matters worse, Arjuna's cousin brothers, one of them Prince Duryodhana, and many other close relatives, namely Sakuni and his stepbrother Karna, are part of the opposing side of Kauravas. Just imagine Arjuna's plight. Arjuna loses the will to fight when seeing his relatives and friends on opposing sides. His lamentation was due to the fear of losing relatives and teachers. Therefore, confused Arjuna engages in dialogue with his charioteer, Sri Krishna, about duty, action, and renunciation. Arjuna asked Krishna, "What use is the kingdom and the pleasures of this world if the price to pay is so high?" His main obstacle is related to the consequences of his karma. He seeks wisdom from Krishna, who repeatedly brings about a felicitous outcome, and reminds Arjuna to adhere to his warrior duty and fight with the will to win against injustice. We too are caught up in the same situation. But in Arjuna's case, it was a physical battlefield. His intention was a noble one, to eradicate the rampant evil forces. But in our situation, our enemies are within us. Our minds are polluted with negative impulses and the 6 enemies: craving, anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, and pride. These 6 powerful enemies create uncertainty within a person and inflict fear. Next stage, the person loses self-confidence and finally pushes the person into stress, and the rest is history. In the Kurukshetra war, in Arjuna's situation, he was in a dilemma to make a choice. Arjuna's confusion on the battlefield is an example of the stalemate we also encounter in our lives. They are insecurity, bouts of doubt, fear, hesitation to speak the truth or act assertively, and neglect of prospective opportunities for self-development. It is evident in modern society that many fear meeting or accepting the daunting challenges life throws at us. There are many situations when we feel overwhelmed and want to run away or find shortcuts to avoid facing uncomfortable situations. In the modern world, this is referred to as the catch-22 situation. These catch-22 crises that pit ethical morality against performing one's duty. Arjuna has the luxury of seeking wisdom from Sri Krishna, who repeatedly brings about a well-chosen outcome and reminds him to hold fast to his dharmic duty as a warrior and fight with the will to win against injustice. Further, not focus on the end result, instead, focus on the task. However, the answer lies within each of us in the current era. First, we must reflect and apply our inherent human values of love, truth, right conduct, peace, and non-violence. So the take-home lesson is to follow our conscience, to discharge our duties and responsibilities to the best of our abilities, to achieve our purpose in life. Living and working with a purpose is a process of itself, is self-discovery. Yet, we feel alienated and adrift when negative forces grip our minds, robbing us of our peace. One must take action to fight through mental turbulence of self-doubt, worry, and anxiety. When you fail to act, there is more self-doubt. When you act, you will either accomplish your goal of finding satisfaction or fail, but learn from the experience. Therefore, it teaches you to not sit on the sidelines and wonder, what if situation, but to take selfless action and own the consequences. Thus, the Gita gives us clarity of awareness when in doubt. Further, Gita assists us in developing our yearning to attain personal excellence, teaching us how Dharma and Karma play a significant role in shaping our attitude to enhance our well-being. This then will lead us to self-empower and finally lead us to self-realization. In summary, Sri Satya Sai Baba said that life could often seem like a battlefield or drama. When we look at it this way, we can ask ourselves, am I playing my part entirely? Are we giving ourselves to our life and our world and living purposefully? Yes, it is very true and something for all of us to reflect. On the final note, Dharma is universal. It refers to one's lifelong duty. Karma refers to one's actions on a day-to-day. The outcome of the action brings about positive or negative. Dharma is a journey and not a destination. Something one must spend a lifetime achieving. Karma changes from moment to moment. Ultimately, the action performed based on the universal law will result in good karma, which is unconditional. Thank you for your interest and attention in watching this brief video on Unfolding Dharma in Daily Life. The next series of videos will elaborate on the practical aspect of reflecting on the code of conduct, guiding us to understand the pathways to peace. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, and bell buttons to receive a notification on the program. Also, your feedback is essential for improving the program, hence, we appreciate your feedback. Thank you.